Student, I am going to start my 11th lecture today, and I think you can recall the previous lecture where we have derived the area moment of inertia of different areas, and you know that is this area moment of inertia is necessary to calculate the bending moment, the bending deflection of the beam. Here some composite area is there. For this composite area means it the summation of different common geometry. Say it's a combination of rectangle, triangle, circle, all this. So some numericals are there. We'll use the that formula along with the parallel axis and perpendicular axis theorem to solve the numericals. Please follow. Here in problem 1, we'll solve a numerical based on the composite section. So see here this is the problem. The area is given, the shaded part, and the dimension of the shaded part is given. We have to find out the moment of inertia, area moment of inertia of the shaded part. Now it is a it does not belongs to a particular geometry like cylindrical or rectangular, triangular, or this. Rather, we can divide the entire area into a number of segments, and each of the segments have a particular geometry. Here the value of A, T, all this is given. So let's consider we have divided these segments like segment area 1, this. The centroid of the area 1 is a rectangle with dimension T and A minus T, because total dimension was given T and this is equals to A and this is equals to T. So this part here to here it is A minus T. So from the given diagram we can get this is equals to A minus T. So the dimension of this rectangle is A minus T into T. And we know the position of centroid of the this segment 1, area 1 is at the center or the intersection of the diagonal, means at the center here. Let's consider the y coordinate of the centroid from x axis. We are selecting no particular x axis is mentioned here, so choose this is the x axis, and this particular point, this is the centroid of segment 1, centroid of area 1, G1. And what's the coordinate? Y1, we have to find out. And similarly, if there is y-axis, measure the y coordinate of the centroid as x coordinate of the centroid. But now we are going to determine only with respect to the x-axis. Similarly, the area 2, there is another rectangle and center is at the middle. The distance of y coordinate of this centroid of this section G2 is y2. And likewise, this is the section 3 or area 3, this is area 4, this is area 5. For all these individual area, we can get the y coordinate of the centroid, y1, y2, y3, y4 and y5. Now we have to find out area moment of inertia of the entire area about centroidal axis, the axis that is passing through the centroid. We know the position of centroid of individual segment, like for 1 it is the centroid, for 2 it is the centroid, for 3 this is the centroid, 4 centroid, and centroid of 5 is this. But we don't know the position of centroid of the entire area. So let's consider here this is the centroid. As the structure is symmetric in left and right side, so it must be on the middle of the section. But from the x-axis, what is the distance? We don't know. So let's consider the y coordinate of this centroid is y bar. Now we have to find out the moment of inertia, area moment of inertia of the entire section about this centroid, the axis that is passing through the centroid G. Before going through that, at first we have to find out the individual moment of inertia of the area 1, area 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, how we are calculating that? Different steps I already have told you. So, in next step, what we are going to do? Find out the moment of inertia about centroidal axis. This gx1 here indicates that along about centroidal axis, the area moment of inertia of a rectangle is BA is cubed by 12. We know that. We have proved in last lecture. BA is cubed by 12. So this gx1 about gx1 axis means about centroidal axis. So where is the centroidal axis? The axis that is passing through the centroid. Where is the centroid? This is the centroid. If the axis is passing through this, then this is gx1. Then this is equals to base cubed by 12. Now substitute the value of b. B means here I have told you here b means parallel to the axis and h means perpendicular to the axis. So here is the axis gx1. x1 is parallel to x-axis and passing through the centroid. This gx suffix gx1, it indicates that g means the axis is passing through the centroid, x indicate the axis is parallel to x-axis, and 1 indicate this is for section 1. So for section 1, axis passing through the centroid means axis along this. When the axis is along this, then base cubed by 12. Then what is the b? B is parallel to this axis, means from here to here, means a minus t. That is that we have calculated here, a minus t, that is equals to 16. And h from this axis perpendicular to this dimension, h means here t is equals to h. So this is equals to 9 as given. So we are calculating gx1 equals to this. Now see the position of centroid of individual area here, here, so not along the same axis. But to add the moment of inertia, to get the entire moment of inertia, we need to have a common axis. But these centroidal axes are not common. So let's consider this x-axis is common to all. Common axis. We know the value of area moment of inertia. We have calculated area moment of inertia about centroidal axis. Now we have to find out the area moment of inertia of section 1 about this x-axis. So how we can get it? Using the parallel axis theorem that we have discussed in last classes. Parallel axis theorem. So these x-axis and the gx1 axis along this is parallel. Then what's the distance between these two axes? Here to here is the distance. Y1 is the distance. So how we can calculate y1? Y1 equals to here to here, this distance plus this. means from here to here it is d, and here to here it is t by 2. So d plus t by 2 equals to this 34.5. We also need the area of this section. So what's the area? This a minus t into t means b into a. B means this, that is equals to a minus t into t. So get this. So we are getting the area of section 1, distance of the centroid from the x-axis or distance between two parallel axes, and area moment of inertia about centroidal axis. Now we will calculate the area moment of inertia about x-axis for the same section 1. So use the parallel axis theorem. This Ix1 equals to Igx1 plus y1 square into a1. Substitute the value and get Ix1 equals to this. Similarly, for section 2, 3, 4 and 5, we will calculate the values of these Ix2, Ix3, Ix4 and Ix5. Now again go back there. See from this figure, here area A and area 1 and 5 is symmetric about x-axis. 2 and 4 is also symmetric. How we are getting the y2? So only we can calculate 1 and 5 is same. Similar 2 and 4 is same. Now likewise we can determine y2. Y2 is at the middle of this section. What's the height of this section? D plus 2. D plus t. At the middle means y2 equals to d plus t by half divided by 2. This 3. This is equals to what? This divided by 2. This is y3. This is equals to what? T. So y3 equals to t by 2. And y4 equals to y2, y5 equals to y1. And similarly, here area, this area, everything is same for 1 and 5 and 2 and 4. Okay. Then substitute all these values. It's better to make a table, a chart. What we are going to write? All this section here is rectangular. So prepare the chart. B I B B I H I I X I G X I means what? For say 1, it is I equals to 1, then this. For I equals to 2, this is the section. For I equals to 2, the B2. B2 indicates what? Parallel to x-axis. This is all is rectangular section. So all have the width and height. B is the width and height is the h. Width means the dimension of the rectangle which is parallel to x-axis, that is B, and perpendicular to axis, that is h. Substitute and get these values. So now all these values Ix1. So finally we are getting the Ix1 using this formula, as one of these already you have calculated and substituted. So this is Ix1, this is Ix2, Ix3, Ix4, Ix5. Notice here Ix5 is same as Ix1. Now for this problem, you notice all the Ix1, Ix2, whatever is it, every area moment of inertia is now with respect to same axis, that is x-axis. Now we can add this, as the area moment of inertia is summative. additive. Means we can add if all the moment of inertia is about the same axis. Notice that Igx1 and Igx2, this is not about the same axis, because Igx1 and Igx2, it is different axis. But both is parallel to x-axis, but it is not same axis. But here, everything we are measuring with respect to same x-axis. For section 1, it is 1. For section 2, it is 2. Same axis, about same axis. So we can add it. And adding it, what we are getting? Ix. Means area moment of inertia about x-axis. Total area moment of inertia of the entire area about x-axis. Simply add it. So adding, we are getting this. And then what's the total area? This is the total area, just add it. Then our next step. So what we have calculated? The area moment of inertia of the entire composite section about capital x-axis. Let's go to the previous page. So about this x-axis, we have calculated the area moment of inertia Ix of the entire area. But we have to find out the area moment of inertia of the entire area about the centroidal axis, this. But we don't know what is the position of centroid. So first, we have to find out y bar, the value of y bar. Then, using the parallel axis theorem, we know about this axis. Using the parallel axis theorem, we can get Igx. Okay. How to find out the parallel axis theorem? Here, in the last lectures, I have told you the formula of the composite section, how to find out the centroid. This is equals to summation of ai yi. Ai, summation of ai yi means a1 y1 plus a2 y2, a3 y3. From the table that we have calculated all this value a1 y1 all this. So substitute and get the y bar value is 19.5. Means the centroid of the entire area is at a distance of 9.5 millimeter, 5 unit millimeter from the x-axis, that we have calculated. So about the x-axis, this Ix value we have calculated. We have to find out Igx of the entire section. We know the total area A, that is equals to A1 plus A2, A plus A3, A4, A4, A5, and y bar just you have calculated. So finally, from using these equations, substitute all these values and Igx equals to Ix minus y bar square A, and we are getting Igx. So this is the moment of inertia of the entire section about centroidal axis. Area moment of inertia of the entire section about centroidal axis. And this is our desired answer. Now, let's consider another example. See here, we have to find out the moment of inertia. Similarly, so all the dimension is given. You see, this part is void. We have to find out the area moment of inertia only for this shaded part. Now, the entire area can be divided, this is the dimensions, can be divided into three different segments. Area 1 is a triangle, area 2 is a rectangle, area 3 is a circle. So these area will be considered as negative. Then from the given data, get A1, A2, A3. Why negative? Because this area is not there. You have to subtract this area. So negative area. It is the rectangle, triangle. So find out IGX. IGX about centroidal axis, the value is BI cube by 36 for a rectangle, for a triangle. So use BI cube by B means parallel to the axis. So here x axis is along this. So parallel to this measurement means B means this and H means this. So substitute and get this value. So this IGX1 is about which axis? The axis that is passing through this centroid. This is the centroid. What is the position of this centroid from x-axis? From this base, we know it is at 1/3. Means from here to here, total height is 60. 1/3 of 60 means 20. So from here to here, it is 20. 20 plus this 60 means 80. So y1 equals to 80. This is how we are calculating y1. I repeat, we know for a triangle, centroid is 1/3 of the height. Total height is here 60. So from the base, if the axis is along base, from the base it is 1/3 of height. So from here to here it is 1/3 of this height. Means 60 by 3. So here to here it is 20. But our x-axis is here. So what's the distance from here to here? This 60 plus this 20 plus 8. Similarly, for section 2, it is a rectangle. The formula is base cube by 12 about the centroidal axis. So centroid is where? This is the centroid for 2 as well as for 3. Coincides both the centers. What's the distance? Distance is 30. Distance of the centroid from x-axis is 30. So it is 30. And the formula again, base cube by 12. So what is B? This dimension is B. This is equals to H. Then use the parallel axis theorem here. Ix1, Igx1 we know plus y1 square a1. Then this is the result. For 2 again this is a2. This into this is equals to what? 30. This is equals to 60. 30 into 60, 1800. And B is cube by 12. B means this value. From here to here means 30. H means this 60. Perpendicular to the axis, that is the H, and parallel to the axis, that is the B. So substitute and get it. Then using the, again here also, like the problem 1, all these IGX1, IGX2, IGX3 centroid, different centroid is there. So this is not about same axis, and that's why we are unable to add this quantity IGX1, IGX2, IGX3. That's why we choose a standard reference axis, that is x, and about x we are calculating the individual area moment of inertia. For the section 1 it is this Ix1, for the section 2 Ix2, and for section Ix3. And here, as it is additive and this area is negative, so this moment of inertia is also negative. This quantity is also negative. Now, what is the total Ix? Means area moment of inertia of the entire section equals to Ix1 plus Ix2 plus Ix. Add all this, then you are getting the Ix value is. So these Ix is the total. You notice that here this moment of inertia is subtracted, as it is the negative part. So finally we are getting the area moment of inertia of the entire area about x-axis. Unlike the previous one, this is not about centroidal axis, it is about x-axis. If we are asking to find out about the centroidal axis, again you have to find out the position of the centroid. You have to consider a position of centroid, and with respect to that you have to calculate the area moment of inertia using these values. These are references that I have used to prepare this video. I have completed the area moment of inertia here. Along with that, today it was the last class of kinetics of rigid body, and in the next class we will introduce a new topic, torsion. Thank you for your patience and attending the classes, and I will expect you also follow the subsequent lectures for the next topics. Thank you.